tasked with different problems to solve every week. And I think when you look at Manchester City, they've got players like De Bruyne that can unlock a defence. You've got Foden. I look at this Chelsea team, and they've got so much attacking threat, but they haven't got that person behind necessarily. Obviously, with Ziyech being out injured, that can actually be the assist maker, and that's probably where they're just falling short at the moment.
I think if I'm trying to give an out to Frank, it would be that he's still trying to bed this team in. He's a young manager himself. It's only his second season now in the Premier League. You talk about the players that he's got. There's a lot in similar places, new to the football club, new to English football. We've still got to find out. But he won't have too much time, he'll know that. He knows the game. He's been in the game a long time. You spend $300 million and have a squad with the quality he's got, then you've got to turn things round. But as Danny said, and we were talking earlier, just when he needs to change things, he has to often go similar type of player coming in. Just hope he does a better job.
City, we've talked a lot about them defensively. Offensively, though, today, did it start to take you back?
Yeah, they were a joy to watch. I think that Chelsea probably gave them a helping hand to a certain extent, the way that they tried to press them, and that's what Manchester City want. They want you to press them. That means they can pick you off so quickly because they've got so many intelligent players. But then just going forward, I think what we saw today was a defensive setup from Manchester City that actually benefited them going forward. It gave them a platform, players could get forward, and as Robbie quite rightly said at half-time, there was so many runners off the ball, and Chelsea players didn't know which ones to pick up.
The rotation of movement meant that Chelsea didn't know where the danger was coming from today, and it hit them in all kinds of blind spots, and it was great. You talk about attack, I just want to go to one person whose season has changed and has been a big part of Manchester City. That's John Stones, the centre-back, who I thought was done at Manchester City. There were periods when I thought, you know what, this guy's not going to be the player that he looked at Everton. Just got a little ISO of him today, and this is just a little snapshot of what he is and what he's doing. He's become more vocal. He's starting to accept a little bit more responsibility and maturity in making sure his teammates do the job. We've said for some time, Vincent Kompany was a huge influence over this football club. Who's going to come in and take that place? Today with Diaz again, they'd be disappointed that they didn't keep a clean sheet, but John Stones is just starting to look like the John Stones that we all thought was going to be a great player who moved to this football club.
Yeah, I think the responsibility that now rests on him, I think it's a huge thing for him. I personally think he's one of the best defenders in England. You know, should be back in the England squad very soon. But as Robbie said, he's had players alongside him. He's had Vincent Kompany, he's had Otamendi, he's had big characters. Those players aren't there anymore, and I think it's a case of, right, we need someone else to step up. Yep. And I think he's benefited from that, and he's stepped up unbelievably well.
Just got the feeling today there were spells where that was old Manchester City. That wasn't pragmatic, that wasn't holding. No. And there was a great shot of Pep walking off the pitch with Cancelo, and Pep's excited in his coaching, and I just get the feel that something's starting to come back at Man City a little bit.
There was a buzz, there was a creativity to their attack. Phil Foden was back in the mix, and what an impact he had. First couple of goals, he factors in on both of them, and here's what he had to say moments ago.
Was that not just an excellent victory, but Manchester City back to their swaggering best?
I believe so, yeah. The first half was brilliant, you know, to be 3 goals up. It's not always easy to go into the second half, 3 goals up, to play the same way. And you probably could tell the second half we dropped off a bit and let them have it. So overall, a great performance, and it don't put us in a bad position now with the games in hand.
How long do you think it's been since we saw a performance like that? Well, certainly was it the best this season?
I believe that we played good every game, but we just not finished our chances. But today, yeah, it was a brilliant performance, and was much more clinical in the final third.
Was it more than taking your chances there? Was there a fluidity, a sharpness about you?
Yeah, you know, we had that little break from the last game. Maybe that helped us out to have the energy today. But yeah, it was a great performance, and everyone played top today.
You more than played your part. How much was the instruction from Pep to attack them on the flanks, get at the fullbacks?
Yeah, you know, he always has great tactics coming into big games like this. He's a genius at things like this, and yeah, as you could tell today, we played the right way, and we definitely done them staying high and wide and down the flank. So it was something that we did well.
He also also seem to make a point of seeking you out on the final whistle to tell you how well you've done. What does that mean to you?
Yeah, you know, it means a lot when you put 100% into a game to get that, you know, a good shout off the manager. It feels nice, you know. And yeah, I'm enjoying my football, and I just want to keep enjoying it.
You're enjoying your football. Are you frustrated you don't start enough?
No, you know, I still have a lot to learn. There's quality players here, and you know, like Riyad Mahrez on the bench today could easily play. So you know, there's quality players at this club, and I just have to keep doing well each time and improving.
The team's picked up points of late, picking up victories as well. But do you think the manner of this victory could ignite a push even further?
Definitely, you know, it gives you the confidence coming here and getting a result how we did. Gives everyone confidence in the change room, and we just want to keep pushing now and play like this more often.
Great stuff, Phil. Well played today.
Thank you. Cheers.
Cheers, Phil.
Let's keep things at Stamford Bridge, bring in our two men who called the match, Arlo and Lee. We were just talking about it here in the studio. This is a Manchester City team that entered today with 18 fewer goals than they had at this point last season. Did it feel to you two like this was a little bit more vintage, a little bit more the Man City of the last few years?
Very much so, and for me, Liam, this is the day where Manchester City moved back into the title race. It's so tight up there. A couple of wins either way can do it for you, but City's performance was so mesmeric in that first half. It was back to their scintillating best. Phil Foden mentioned there, Lee, that it was difficult going in 3-0 up at half-time. I suggest it's more difficult going in 3-0 down.
His media training's going really well, isn't it?
What impressed you the most about them today?
I think the fact that Pep's tactics, the fact that he obviously wanted to try and shake it up a little bit, and he put a floating forward line, De Bruyne being in the middle, and how the movement just created all sorts of problems for Chelsea at the back. He got that spot on. The energy, the drive, the closing down, the solidity at the back. I mean, Chelsea were toothless against them. That was partly because the back four was so good. The movement off the ball is absolutely sensational. So they are back, there's no doubt about that. And you look at the bench, there's people on the bench raring to get on there as well. They've got a lot of injuries, a lot of COVID problems as well. So Man City are not going away. Make sure that we keep an eye on them, because they're not... They're down at the moment in the league, but you're just seeing them now starting to just grasp that top 3 or 4, and I think it won't be long before they're well back in it.
Big League Cup semi-final during the week against Manchester United as well for them. Chelsea, 4 defeats in 6. At what point does Frank Lampard and his job come under a little bit of pressure?
Well, the pressure's there because he's got an owner that's got a history of sacking managers. That he's also spent $300 million. The team's not firing. If he keeps losing games, he'll lose his job. That's a fact. I think it would be harsh, and I think he's got a long way to go before that happens. But he's got to find the blend, he's got to find the balance, and he's got to find it quickly. And when you look down at those players, some of them don't look as if they really know what to do next, and that's a problem for Frank, who's not got a lot of experience to fall back on.
Yeah, no goals in 9 Premier League games, Liam, now for Timo Werner, and you got the sense here today that these are 2 big Premier League clubs just at the moment heading in different directions. We'll see in a couple of weeks.
All right, Arlo and Lee, obviously it's a team that spent a lot of money, and they were just talking about Frank Lampard, and the news, it moves rather quickly, because The Athletic right now reporting that Frank Lampard's job is under serious threat, and that they've already begun to explore replacements. Your response to that at this point, 1 game into this new year?
Well, part of me is surprised. It seems a bit early. It seems a bit premature from where you are. If you're going to believe in a manager, give him $300 million to spend, you kind of think you'd like to see him out. But this is Chelsea Football Club, and that surprises me not at all. An ownership group that's rotated managers and continue to win silverware. A football club that's always in the news, that things are always leaking out, and being a capital club and know it well, used to go there to watch many games and see training, etc. Frank will sort of feel the pressure.
If this wasn't a club legend, a young manager, if this was just an established manager who maybe didn't have the ties to the club, would he be feeling this type of pressure?
I would hope not. I would hope not, because last season, for me, they overachieved. Finishing in the top 4, weren't able to bring players in, lost arguably their best player. No, they did lose their best player in Hazard, you know, and did incredibly well. This summer he's gone out and he's spent a lot of money. We all know that, so the pressure does get bigger and bigger, but there's all different types of situations. Players take time to adjust. Players, you know, families settling and everything. For him to be under pressure now after he's just spent that amount of money, in my opinion, is absolutely ridiculous, but that's the way of football.
Well, he's under some kind of pressure either way.
There's no doubt.
Can he turn this around?
And being a legend and the games he's had and what he's played, I look at Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and people were saying, you know, he's not the right man for Manchester United. Frank Lampard now is starting to fall in that category. They are 7 points behind, a game more than the top teams. That could be a 10-point gap at this stage of the season. That in itself puts him under pressure.
It's a team with a lot of talent. It's a team that was outclassed certainly in the first half of today's match. They lost 3-1. Here's Christian Pulisic.
Christian, what was the most frustrating part of that display for you guys?
Obviously just the first half, the way that we conceded goals through a lot of counter situations, and just weren't prepared to stop that. And the first half we really just let us down.
The second half there was a big improvement, but it's a big job against a team like Manchester City when they're at their best.
Yeah, obviously we're never going to give up. It's not easy to come back from 3 goals, but it's happened before. So we gave it everything and able to get one back, but just too little too late.
It's 1 win in 6, Christian. You don't need reminding of that. But given the recent results and the performance, particularly in the first half, how damaging, how worrying is that for Chelsea at the moment?
It's tough. We're in a tough period right now. I mean, it's going to happen to everyone at times. We've been in these situations before, and we have another situation next week where we just have to turn it around because we do need to start getting results quickly.
Is that easier said than done? I mean, what needs to change? So difficult to put your finger on it after a game like that and so soon after a game.
Yeah, of course, I'm not going to say, exactly what we need to do, right now. I'm going to watch the game back and we're going to, look at it as a team and try to see what we can improve on. So it's not going to be easy, but we need to show character now.
Thank you, Christian. Cheers.
Not sure what needs to change, only that something must change. Coming up in goal.